Yes, guys, welcome to Bala Sports. How you guys doing? Welcome to Premier League
Back at it
match.
again.
Man. Back at it again.
Up,
Abdullahi,
guys?
Queens, what's going on,
Back at it
fellas?
again.
We here,
How you
man.
guys
Beautiful
doing,
Hanging in
man? You
there,
weekend.
guys don't
hanging in
sound
there.
too happy, man. You guys supposed to be happy up in there, man.
Beautiful weekend.
Right, it's a
Hey,
beautiful
we
weekend
gotta
for
stay
Arsenal
calm.
fans.
Yeah, we gotta stay calm, bro. We gotta stay calm, man. Take it week by week,
Yes.
you know,
All right, let's get this shit started,
until
man.
the
What's
end.
good, man? Just welcome to Premier League Week 20 special, man. This is a reaction for special day today because, Bala Sport TV is on point today. We're breaking down the madness that happened in Week 20. Chelsea snatched a late draw at Etihad versus Man City. Arsenal grind out a 3-2 win over Bournemouth and go up on top of the table, 6-point clear. And Man City, we're not talking about what Chelsea's at the table right now, but Leeds United, Manchester United, Everton versus Brentford, all these games happened today. And what a weekend, except for the Arsenal game was yesterday, by the way. My bad with that. But let's start it, man. Let's get this thing cracking, man. Let's get this thing started with the world champions arrival at Man City. 1-1 drew, man. What a manager-less Chelsea. Of course, I got to get you guys going with that because I know once I say that, somebody's going to have something to say. We are the world champion. I mean, are we not?
Yeah, something
Sure,
like
I
that.
guess.
All right.
Something
I
like
don't
that.
really care about that.
Thank you, man. No head coach, no Moses Caicedo, no Cucurella. The title race is pressure in Man City, but they couldn't pull the win to them after controlling, total dominate the game. When the possession is wild, man, I think they missed a lot of opportunities, man. Chelsea won, Man City won. Abdullah, what was your take on the Chelsea late equalizer by Enzo Fernandez in the 90-plus minute?
I think a draw is probably a fair result. You know what I mean? Even though it came late. In the beginning, it did look kind of shaky for Chelsea. Like Haaland was looking like he was gonna bag one or two, maybe three, but he wasn't too clinical up top today. So you guys are fortunate in that end. But thing about City, they still have other guys that can contribute here and there. Today they had that guy Ryan just pull one, and that was pretty good. It was a pretty good finish. Aside from that, yeah, sure, they controlled maybe having possession of the game, but every time you guys were on the ball, it seemed like you guys were going forward with intent. But then when you guys got up there, that's when the problems came about. But overall, yeah, Chelsea deserved a point out of the game, maybe a victory if they were also clinical on just clinical in general with all their players. As for City, this would definitely be like a point drop, 2 points drop because they were leading for a large portion of the game, pretty much the whole game
Right.
until the end. So that doesn't really look good on their part. But and also aside from the first half and their one goal, they didn't, again, like we said, they controlled majority of the ball position, but they didn't really look too threatening. Yeah, I don't know if a victory was deserved on there.
Yeah, of course. I know you showed up today at the Chelsea part, man. You know how it looks, man. You see the crowd. You see how
Man,
it is, man.
what an atmosphere, man.
What
an atmosphere.
You showed up at the right time too, man, because that's when it happens to lead, man. But when you were there with me, you were standing there discussing the game about what Chelsea need to do, and you basically call it. Chelsea's gonna score here because Man City always open for team to score because the style of playing, they
Yes.
think how to play. What's your take on the game total?
Chelsea, they went through an emotion in the game, but they withheld the pressure, I would say. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the striker hit the crossbar. As Abdullahi said, he wasn't looking as clinical today. It looked like City was looking a little fatigued today or something. I don't know. They're a little bit out of sorts. And they, with Doku not starting, I mean, they didn't look as threatening as with him on the field and Shirky. So I believe Chelsea, they really did themselves a favor by not letting any more goals in after the first goal. They showed character. And the City manager, he made the right subs when the lap came on the field. It kind of changed things a little with how they were feeding the ball. They started pushing the ball up there for him, and he's getting into deep, dangerous areas. And I think Chelsea did themselves a favor today. And even if Chelsea was missing some key players today,
Right.
they still showed great character. Shield, he made that little mistake, and after that, he was pretty rock solid at the back in terms of letting anything pass. So I think Chelsea did themselves a favor today. Man City, some games they're looking very threatening, and then some games they're it's looking like I don't know if it's fatigue or it's just the form of the team, but I believe when you're looking for Haaland to score, he has so much goals. I think City is looking to score from different places other than Haaland. And it's kind of not going the best for them right now. We'll see going forward, but I believe Chelsea did themselves a great service by getting that draw. It showed great character,
Yeah.
you know?
Today for me, man.
Yeah, because there was equal amount of
Go ahead.
sorry, there was like equal amount of opportunities on both sides.
Yeah,
Either team could have really won the game,
correct.
even though City didn't look all too threatening in my opinion. But either team could have still won.
Yes,
Yeah, like
But a
in the
draw was fair.
especially like in the first half, I feel like, with the first of all, man, let me just start this as a Chelsea fan. No manager, basically no head coach, because let's just start it there. No Marcus, no Caicedo, no Cucurella, and we got Fofana hurt. But one thing I had to give credit to the Chelsea team today, man, we showed discipline. We wasn't chasing the game recklessly. No, I feel like I'm not gonna say that he should be our next head coach or none of that. He's our academy coach. He stepped in, he had a game plan. You could tell since the beginning of the game what was the game plan about before we conceded the first goal in the 42nd minute. We game plan was just to be disciplined. For me, I like that because not chasing the game, not being reckless. We didn't see too much of the Moses Kessler getting yellow card there and there, or that red card. None of that happened today. We were calm, we were disciplined, and for me, that's a credit give to the manager, whoever he is, the Inter manager we call it. But it's games like this where you sit back and say, "Yo, is Chelsea really gonna pull this off? If this happened, that just shows us who we are as a club, to be honest with you, though. Like, we spoke about this plenty of times here when it comes to Chelsea. I spoke about this plenty of times. I'm not afraid to play against the top six teams because they do open the game up. And Chelsea not chasing the game, but they're just playing their game, their style. Reece James being out there. It's hard to point out one person. Like Quincy, like you said, man, just a one mistake by Betty Sure. Beside that, man, I feel like Chelsea was really into this. We had a game plan and we stick to the game
correct.
plan. And for me, man, moving forward, I'm not gonna be too hyped because I was hyped when we played against Arsenal. And then what happened? We went down, down, down. And things happen.
Downward
We
trend.
went down too much, man. But man,
Yeah,
I
you
just
guys.
gotta praise that with the thing. But another thing I gotta say is that technically, I feel like City was flat after they went up. Yes, they have position.
Yeah,
Yes, they have 14 shots, 3 shots on target. Yes, but the lack of urgency with trying to kill the game wasn't there with them. I don't know. I'm not saying Chelsea forced them to, but I just think Chelsea was contained and staying with the game plan and being disciplined. I don't know if it does have anything to do with it. But you said they look tired. Yes, when Delap come in, I agree. We were talking about it when we was watching the game, Queens. He was doing a lot of run. I wish he could have done more clinical in front of the goal, but what he did, the space, the speed, I didn't know he had this much speed. Basically, he's coming back to full health now. I mean,
yeah,
with a new manager coming in, of course, we all know, man, every player got to show up. They're going to try to prove themselves that they're capable of starter. Because in this Chelsea roster right now, we really can't say, yes, maybe 5, 6 players guarantee a starting line. Garnacho is not guaranteed. He didn't play today. What you made for me was okay, because it's Garnacho, man. Today he give you this, tomorrow he disappear. So
yeah.
I like that. But other than that, man, bro, at City 1-1, man, I'm not surprised, man. We Chelsea Football Club, bro. Yeah, but
Hey,
go
you
ahead.
guys had some you guys had some young players come in today too that they really showed character
Yep.
as well. They slided in. Yeah, they looked very eager to be out there, and it's like they want to state their name while they have the chance. Because at Chelsea Football Club, you could be here and then you could be gone alone. You could be,
Yeah.
but you don't know when you're coming back again. So I guess that was a good thing for y'all to get some of those players out there to really show and state themselves in a statement game like this, saying, "Hey, we here too. You need to, maybe cycle some of those more players in the rotation." So who knows about? They say you guys got this new guy coming from Strasbourg, this young guy that
Stop, man.
maybe
Man.
I don't know,
I
but
don't want to hear about no more young players coming in, bro. Stop, man.
yeah, no, I'm talking about the
Oh,
coach.
okay, the
The
coach.
coach
Okay,
from
yes, yes.
Strasbourg. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
And that would be saying that's kind of the guy that for y'all that can, manage a young squad. If I'm not mistaken, my boy told us today the oldest player on the field for y'all was like 26.
Yeah, probably Chalaba and Reece James is what, 25 or so?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So I mean, you gotta go away with some positives here as if you're a Chelsea Football Club. Man City, they said they're looking to maybe get Semenyo in this window would be criminal because they have so much talent. But when you kind of look at it, it's like they need something dynamic other than have because they're kind of, I guess teams are kind of figuring out how City go about things. I don't know. We'll see how the season goes, but they have so much talent. It's looking a little flat right now.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give credit to my Chelsea team, man. We didn't panic. We
You're
didn't. I
proud.
mean,
You're
man,
proud, man.
I am proud. Like you mentioned, man. Josh Achampong was on point, man. He did what he had to do,
Yeah, man.
and I also
Yeah,
give credit to the manager, man. Like he showed up. He did the substitutes that he did. Actually, comes there and pay off. I'm not saying it's super sub, but they did the thing. Malagusto, man. I think he did well today. We could go down the line on
correct.
the players that actually stood out. Because the first half, we don't know what the game plan was. We're not trying to give up any silly. We're not trying to make any silly mistakes and then give up anything that's bad is sure mistake, yes. But Abdullah, what does this loss? How should I say it? How do I put this? Because I don't want to put it as seems like you guys already got the title, but because it's a long way to go. But how much did this result hurt City title hope?
I mean, I would say a lot. Everybody keeps speaking about how their experience is bad. They've done this before here, there. Oh, I guess in a sense it doesn't hurt them a lot. What is it, like 6 points now?
6 month player.
That's 2 games. So they gotta hope that we fumble 2 games, which I personally don't see happen. Not for a very long time. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think in my opinion, it does hurt them, whether they've been here or not. Like it doesn't matter. This season is this season. You know what I mean? And if you
Correct.
stack up both teams, we're looking like the better outfit. We are the better outfit. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, it's very hurtful result in terms of the title race.
Especially at home and against a team that basically, had this sad week. Okay, for the world it is, but for us as a Chelsea fan, we used to this. But you see what I'm saying, though? But for City, you're looking at it like he's a young team, went through the past 3, 4 days, that just been fired. Basically, Enzo Maresca give up on us because he did. He tapped out. I think he tapped out 2 weeks ago. Well, he tapped out since
Well, you think he gave up? You think he gave up?
because like I don't want to use maybe that's the wrong word to use, but I feel like he already know that he was gonna step down. You know what I mean? Because I this could go ahead.
Maybe when you say it like that, but I've been like, reading into stuff and watching a lot of stuff about it and whatnot. You know, clearly it was a bust up, you know what I mean? I don't know if he gave up, but I think he just went to the guys at the back and told them like how to really move forward with the team and how to strengthen and, go further in terms of, trying to win something big. The manager wasn't content with what's going on, as for the owners, I think they were content, you know what I mean? They're cool. And he wasn't following in their footsteps or their plan, so they were like, okay, this guy's got to
Yeah, so
go up
that's
here
what
Yeah.
I
and give
meant about when I
So
mean like
you know.
and you absolutely right. I mean, correct on that because well, when I mean about give up, I'm not talking about like giving up on the team. You saw me like knowing that he's done with it because they're not listening to him. What I mean, they don't want to. They
Okay,
don't have
that's what I'm
nothing to do
saying.
with
Like
his
when you said
input.
it like that, then I
Yeah,
get.
yeah, yeah. That's a better choice. Quince, what do you think about City hopes for the titles? Is it over for you? Is it over for them? I mean,
This is football. I'm not gonna ever say it's over until the fat lady sings, my brother.
good luck.
But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially in the position that we're in,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. I believe we take every game one at a time as we're taking it. As in the managers right now in the Premier League look like they taking every game as it is, as it comes. It's like you can't really get too far ahead of yourself. So I'm not gonna say City is done, and there's a transfer window that is open. So, and things shift drastically right now, going into this part of the year. So I believe if the most of the top level teams keep their character and stick to what they know, it could go down late in the season. But if they lose grip on things, then you never know what can happen. I mean, I believe Maresca, he fell out with the management Chelsea and the higher ups. A couple games back when you're seeing him in the stands, when you're seeing him not at the game, when you're seeing him, he's there but he's not there.
Top
It's
top.
like, yeah, it's like he knows that they're not working, as Abdullah said, they're not working with what he wants to do. All right, fine. And it kind of went on to the players in terms of discipline, like, and goes back to the Arsenal game where it's in, he wanted them to come out and smash us and play a certain way, but at the same time, it could affect the mentality of the players where they're getting too ahead of themselves instead of managing the game. And I guess sometimes if the management sees that, they're saying when we get a chance, we got to get rid of this guy. And I think he knew that was coming. So it was in the headlines where you're like, we didn't really know until it happened. I
Yeah.
believe there's still competition in this. There's some tough games coming up for everybody. So we're just gonna watch it happen. But again, I think it's one game at a time for every top level team knows that.
All right. I know you guys are Arsenal fans. You're trying to keep your hope, trying to be calm, all that. But City dropping a point at home again, that's a red flag for me.
2 games in a row, by the way.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but
yeah.
that's too.
So, yeah. So that's a red flag for me. So, because now it's 6 points behind Arsenal, and that's a gap that can grow fast and fast, bro, especially in January. And seeing them the way they're playing, you guys keep talking about the transfer window. So the question is that if they do go in the transfer window, what position need to be filled? Like,
A winger for sure. I can't really say striker, right? Because they got Haaland. As long as they have him, he's good and he's durable. You know what I mean? Even if he gets injured, he gets back quick. I think maybe defensive cover. They're not as great defensively. They leak in a lot of goals. So somebody in the back, because this guy Ake, he's like, run down. He doesn't got it. He doesn't have it anymore. But who else they got? That one kid, that Eastern European kid. I don't know what his name is again, but the young kid, he's not up to the standard yet, I don't think.
yeah.
And he came off the bench. So
Who's that?
so really they only have Diaz that's really certified for them in the back.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Their right back. Who's their right back at the moment? Is it still Rico Lewis? I don't even know.
No, Nunes.
I think Nunes. He's not even a right
Nunes.
back.
He's not even. He's
You know what I
makeshift.
mean?
He's
Yeah,
makeshift.
make sure. And Rico's on a bench, and he's not even a right back either. You know what I mean? Um, Left back. Who do they have at left back?
It was
We don't even know.
Vardiol. Times
Yeah,
Oh,
Vardiol.
Guardiola,
Guardiola,
he got
and then
hurt
he got
today.
hurt.
He got hurt today, yeah.
And he got
Yeah,
hurt. So
Yeah.
yes, they need defensive cover. Maybe 2.
and he's been a big
You
player
know.
for them. No matter at Vardiol, he knows how to get into the attack.
So bro, like in terms of how many players they probably need about 3 or 4, if we're being honest. And to do that in January, I mean, they have the money to do it, but like to do it in January to get the guys that are needed to slot them right in, it's gonna be tough. But
Tough.
yeah, I would say more defensive cover than maybe any attacking.
I believe. When you lose a guy like KD, Kevin De Bruyne, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I believe it kind of threw them off somehow. As in, there's a connection that Haaland had with that dude. As in, he's feeding when he starts to feed the ball from deep, and they start to threaten, kind of like how Chelsea started to feed the ball from deep to Delap. You need a kind of a player where you're seeing like end zone. These guys are feeding. They can feed it from deep. They don't have to run up, and then the team advances. If it's not a defensive kind of cover guy, defensive midfielder kind of orchestrator, something like Abdullah is saying, whereas they need something to better manage their game, because City of old, they would score one, but they would pressure you throughout to score another, at least two, and you're gonna have to, now you're down two, you have to play from behind that. Whereas in now, it's a little bit more predictable, They are missing Marmoush at AFCON. He's a very big player. But I don't know how much he could change in terms of in a game like this. You need some grit, you know.
I'm just one thing.
Yeah,
Like if Haaland was clinical today, Chelsea could have been at least 2, maybe
correct.
3-0 down.
He hit the
So as long
crossbar.
as he's like almost making up for like the guys that aren't there anymore, like a KDB
I
or
don't
even a
know. I don't know.
Marmoush.
I see it different,
He's
man.
picked up his level.
I kind
I
of love
think
to
he's
see it
picked up his
different today
level.
for Holland. I see it different. Beside the shot that hit the inside the post that come back out, yes, he was carrying the ball as a big dude, going down, carrying out defenders with him. But
He's picked up his level.
yeah, but at the same time, like he's not a type of striker that could create his own shots like that. I mean, he need to be fed. So
Nah,
that's
nah,
why when you go back to what
not a
Chris said about him
consistent
and
basis.
Kevin, right? So when you go back to the connection of him and Kevin De Bruyne in the middle, somebody that could create that, that could fit him the ball in the right places. Because Foden is a problem, my opinion. This is why I say this. He's not
He's
clinical as
supposed to be
everybody.
that guy.
Yeah, he's supposed to
He's
be that
just
guy,
not
but he's
consistent.
not taking that responsibility. He's not as clinical as everybody thought he is. He do got a great touches though. Some of the touches is like, whoa, bro. Oh, you got
Oh
it
yeah,
right, especially with the one with the left when you bring it back and take go. I'm like, if he would have scored that
but
goal, man,
after that,
but
after that, he's kind of
yeah,
missing
he
it.
was
He's in the
missing it.
fray,
Yeah,
as in they have a lot of center attacking midfielders, but when it's time to, kind of manage the game, they're all pushing, and
yeah,
he had a chance to make them go up today. He's wide open. Shirky is wide open on the right, and he tries to feed Holland at the wrong time. You understand? Holland takes two players with him, and the dude is open on the right. Like you say, Foden is kind of a problem, whereas in he doesn't have that guy behind him, you know, kind of in his ear telling him like a KDB, where he's a midfielder orchestrator that can play in his position, but he's sitting more behind like a quarterback and feeding him and telling him you need to feed it this way if I give it to you, or feed it that way if we get into certain situations. It's something to look at, man. That's a big player that they missing.
Yeah. It's hard to replace a player like that because
It's showing up. It's showing up now. Look at the math. Look at the table. You know, it's starting to show now. So I believe if City may be in that transfer market, man.
Yeah.
I see them after today. We might see some headlines in the
Man, I don't
next
know, man.
week or
Like
so.
Abdullah said, man, this January window, man, it's hard to actually get the player that could
It's
come change
hard.
you.
It's
You feel me?
hard. It all depends on how much they want to go after it. You know,
Unless if you go after a player that's already in the Premier League, but bringing somebody else in outside the league is going to be difficult.
That's even tougher if you want to ask
that's
me.
even tougher. We seeing that now with Yorkeres, as in look
Right.
how much he has to adapt. He's been playing good, but he still there's that adaptability point where this is the Prem. If you haven't played in the Prem, man, you know, so we're gonna see.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Speaking about Jokic, man, let's switch the gear. Let's switch gear to the Arsenal Football Club, man.
Ah.
There we go. Arsenal versus Bournemouth, man. Arsenal win 3-2 with Declan Rice scoring twice, man. Second half performance, dude. Before I go any farther, man, I gotta give this. I gotta say something. Declan Rice, apologize, bro. That was a game. You know, I'm a Chelsea fan, but I'm a football fan first. You feel me? Now, Declan Rice, I like to apologize. Caicedo being off the past 5 games, correct. But dude, what you did in this game, my hat off, man. I ain't taking my shit off because I'm just saying. But but my hat off to this guy. You know what I mean? So because, dude, that was a performance. That was a banker. That
Yeah.
was somebody that need to do he need to do that. You know what I'm saying? You can see
Yeah.
the level. You see what Ateta is doing. He trusts the system. He trusts his manager. The manager trusts him. And the players around him trust him. Because, dude, that was a performance. But speaking of that, man, you Arsenal fans, don't get used to me giving your players any credit now. But let's talk to me about this game. It was not pretty, in my opinion, because in the first 60, I think about 61st minute, so y'all only got 4 shots on goal. But the most important thing you guys always say, if you guys could be clinical in front of the goal, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Gabriel making that mistake, but what a redemption, right? So talk to me about this game.
Like
Go. Discuss. I mean, yeah, we conceded early, to a silly mistake by Gabriel, but then he brought us back into the game like 5 minutes into the game. But that was pretty good on his part. He's like that. He makes a silly mistake, and like he tends to make up for it big time. As far as the game, like you said, it was ugly, but in the end, we did what we needed to do. We shouldn't have conceded those 2 chances, but for some reason, when Arteta tries to manage the game so much, we tend to concede these silly goals for some reason. I don't know why, but it always tends to happen at a weird time in the game and towards the end of the game as well. Like it's been a trend for the last couple of games where we concede late goals. Yeah, Declan Rice had a pretty good second half for overall game, but in the first half he was kind of getting ran through. He looked kind of tired maybe, but then he stepped it up and really showed his levels, back to identical goals. Gyökeres, man, he's doing what he needs to do, except for like bagging the goal. I think he had like 2 crazy headers this game, and neither of them like even hit the bar or across nothing. You know what I mean? But for some, yeah, like he's doing what he needs to do, but he's just not scoring. But at the same time, what he's doing is helping the team shape in terms of defensively as well, because he's keeping certain players occupied. Madueke was pretty good on the right. He's another player who needs to like kind of work on his clinical ability, because beating his man, he's pretty good at that, and maybe delivering a good ball on certain occasions. But yeah, overall we did pretty well, and we walked away with 3 points. That's all that counts at this point of the season. Yeah, we moved.
Yo, talk to me, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, we move off of that. The first half, like you said, it was pretty sloppy in terms of, it could be, again, this is the time of year teams are showing a little fatigue. We were playing
Yeah.
3 times a week, and, mistakes are bound to happen. It's just how you bounce back. Dude, Gabriel, he's done it in the past. The dude is showing character. He just gets so flustered with himself that he has to do something to, redeem
Make
himself,
up.
and that's what he did. Bukayo Saka assist off the bench. We talk about Saka. A lot of people talk about Saka. The guy came off the bench, got an assist. He's always surrounding. He's always around, making a name for himself. When you think, even if he's not scoring, if he's not as clinical as he was last year, they're blocking his shot. His signature chop in and shoot, but he's still making a name for himself. And before that, Madueke put in a little shift where he's beating his man perfectly. It's just that final ball. That's all we need from out of him. So I mean, the team has great competition in it right now. I believe, Zubimendi, that was probably the worst game I saw from him especially in the first half. It was just
Very.
pretty ugly. They were knocking the ball around us for a while, and I'm just looking like, hey, this is probably the worst I've seen the midfield play. But again, Declan Rice, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't play the last game, did he? And then he came back this game and he bags a double. This guy also is making a name for himself as an England great, not just an Arsenal great, but he's making himself as a great player
Man,
in the
stop. Here
country.
you go, man. This guy,
And
man. Here we
and
go, this guy.
No,
he
he
and
is.
Here
he
we go
is,
with this guy.
ever since he's come to Arsenal, man, he's really taken his role very, very serious.
I agree.
And I gotta tip my hat to him, man.
Now,
He came to Arsenal for a reason, bro.
now,
Yes,
now, I'm about to say something right now, so you guys should not get used to me saying this about Arsenal, all right? But today, because what Chelsea did for Arsenal, so I gotta do a little bit something for Arsenal fans out there also that's watching. No, I had to take a note of this. I had to think about this. I said, like, maybe if I write it down, I might change my mind from saying it. But to be honest, though, from what I've seen from Arsenal, that's the mentality of the champions. You see what I'm saying? Seriously.
correct.
They go down and they respond quickly. And then Rice, the heartbeat. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is something that you have to see. The game takes the game by the throat. You have to have the type of midfielder that's willing to do so in the Premier League. We've seen it with the great
Correct.
teams, man. Frank Lampard doing it for Chelsea for years. We've seen it in the mini. So if Rice continue doing what he's doing, this is the heart of a champions, you know. And what impressed me most when the substitute happened and they bring who I think is the most consistent player in the Premier League for you guys, soccer. Though I don't know, for some reason, man, I love watching soccer play. I've been like watching soccer play for 4 or 5 years now, bro. This kid, even when he was with Sharkanabi, I always pay attention to how he move, how he is. I see, oh, this kid's gonna be a problem. Maybe that's the reason why I love him so much, because I've seen him since he's young. He's still young. He just got a lot of
Yeah.
mileage, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you guys to
Yeah,
get used to
yeah.
me saying it, because that second half ball, man, give Arsenal that. When he comes, he give Arsenal just a special spot. That's like, yo, they have identity throughout the players, because
The
the way
fact that we can bring him on off the bench now, it makes it even better.
That's a
that's what I'm saying,
luxury.
man. That's something that you don't see like in a lot of these Premier League teams now. There's not a lot of game changes could come out. When we look at the Liverpool run, rest in peace to Jata, and when he come off the bench, you could tell, like, he's here to make a difference.
Rest in peace.
That that's he was clinical.
Right.
That's the definition.
That's what I'm
dude-
saying. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
That dude, that's somebody you don't want to see coming off the bench.
So when you have
don't want
a midfielder that could just get the long range shots, that just know how to place that ball, that just know how to just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look at it like, yo, this is what he's supposed to do. He's confident. The team trusts him to take that shot. Atata is not gonna complain about Declan Rice taking any more shots. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
So he
Nah.
did what he had to do, man. But these two guys, man, the movement off the ball from him and the ability just to arrive in the box, that's what a midfielders are supposed to do. Same thing about today when we saw Enzo for the tie. He
Yeah.
wasn't just at the right place. He knows that he was supposed to be in that place.
Crashing the
You see what I'm
box.
saying? Yeah, you
Crashing.
gotta crash in there. And to see what Declan Rice did,
It's like that second wave of
I don't want
pressure,
to
you
say
know?
it, but you know what I mean. But I'm not gonna be the one to say it. I will not say it. But you guys, if you guys are the only team that could beat you guys is yourself. Nobody else could beat you.
Correct.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
It's been like this for the past couple of seasons. to
Yeah,
be
but
honest.
this season is
Not
more
even-
maturity. This season is more clinical. This season there's more there's more movement of the ball. This season you could see Oligarma perform the next game. Soccer just doing what soccer does, and see what Declan Rice just decided to say. You know what? I could move and I could do this, dude. If you got to fumble
And
this
and
shit,
and
bro, this is gonna go
and I,
down in
and
history.
again, tips off to Odegaard as well.
Right.
Odegaard again through the first half of the season, injuries hampered him. He was playing like he was kind of scared of the tackle. I was like, what's wrong with Odegaard? And people were saying, dude, that's why we were so enthralled on getting Eze and forcing him and forcing him. But again, Eze just came into Arsenal, as in you really need to adapt to this system. That's what it looks like. And Arteta is really showing his, I guess, expertise as every game comes. It looks like he has a team for every opponent we play
Opposition,
against.
like
Yeah, opposition we play against, and he's making his claim, and he's showing that as in the players he's using. It looks like he has the players to play against each team and take them as they come. And I have to tip my hat to Odegaard, man. He had another great performance. These two players, Odegaard and Rice, when they're in the team and when they're playing good, it just puts us on another level, and it brings a calm to the games. Once we have the ball and we're gonna create chances, I like our chances.
Don't fumble this shit, bro. This could be our year, but don't fumble
Hey,
this.
it's one game at a
Do not
time, man.
fumble this.
But
Why you?
like
Do
like
not.
you just said, bro,
Do
these
not.
these guys are well matured now. They're well
Yeah,
matured
All
now. Like
right.
they know
it'll
what
be
it is.
on them. It'll be on them if
It really would be on them, bro.
it'll be on them if they fumbled it. They know that.
Yeah.
They know that. Look at Gabriel when he had that mistake. I'm like, wow,
Bro,
is
bro,
this a
even
repeat?
when he scored, the dude was still pissed, low key.
Pissed
Like he
off.
can't believe.
But that's
Yeah,
how you have to be. You cannot get complacent when you're playing this game,
Right.
bro. You tied the game. You had a bad mistake. Okay, we need another goal to win now, and you need to play to win.
That's what I
You
meant
can't
to.
just play
That's
tie.
that's what I meant about the mentality of a champions, man. But dude, man, let's switch it around. Let's run through the rest of the Premier League this week, man. Leeds United won, Manchester United won, Manchester
Go-
United in top six. United in top six. We're still gonna call them the team that didn't travel outside of Europe all season, but they're still in sixth spot. Is Manchester United in good place?
I would say historically for them, this is not what they're used to. But again, it's like they're going through a whole shift. I don't know how long it's gonna take.
it's forever.
Amarim had some interesting comments after the game saying that he's the manager. They need to let him be the manager and nobody else. So I mean, I think they're surviving. No Mbuemo, no Ahmad. They get a result still, but I believe for the Man U standard, I think they could be a little further along than we're used to. But they're I guess they're working with what they got right now, and they're still in the top set of teams.
All right, right. Villa, third place. They respond from what happened the game against you guys. 1-3-1. Villa gotta make a noise. The reason why I asked you about Villa, Abdullah, because I know how you feel about the head coach.
Unai Emery, right? He's a fraud, bro. I'm telling you, that guy's a fraud. I'm telling you, don't let that guy fool you.
Yo.
But in terms of who they play again? Was it
The play against, why am I forgetting
it was
this? I
like
just wrote it down too.
4-1?
That's crazy.
Was
Hold
it
on, I'm
4?
gonna tell you right now.
I got you.
A lot of games in a matter of days.
Now the play against Nottingham
crazy.
Forest. The play against Forest. 3-1.
Nottingham
Nottingham
Forest.
Forest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3-1.
yeah.
3-1.
That's a good response.
McGinn with a
Yeah, that
double.
was a good bounce back. Again, they have the squad to be able to compete with the rest of the league, you know?
Yeah. Abdullah,
It's just whether
just your camera went off, but we can hear you.
did it?
There we go.
There you go.
Can you see me now?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just whether they can keep a consistent good form throughout the entirety of the league. Now we're in the second half of the season. We'll really see how they do, you know, with their upcoming fixtures. Every fixture from here on out is like 10 times as more important as it was, you know, in the beginning. So, and what I know from Emery in the past with Arsenal, even with Villa, is that he starts to like crumble towards the end. I mean, I know they say this about us as well, but the way that guy crumbles with whatever team he manages, it's really bad. They go from like 100 to 0. You know,
Yeah.
I was 0 to 100. It's 100 to 0 real quick. But we'll see. I still don't see them finishing in the top 4. You guys are man, you might even, you know, just creep up and somehow make it over Villa, but we'll see about that. But yeah, I don't see them making the top 4 at least. Yeah, congrats to them, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, man.
They just got a new signing to a Brazilian.
Who, Villa?
Yeah, they got this kid, Ali's son is from Grêmio, and he's a winger. similar to like the Esteval kind of energy, and they're the first big team in a sense to make a, if I'm not mistaken, to make a big signing like this with a kid like this. So again, you said it's kind of unpredictable with Unai Emery, but I think again, like you say, the players that he has will determine how far he goes. You know,
He's well equipped
he's well
to
equipped.
be able to finish top four with that team. But again, I don't mean to interject, but I think back when he was with Arsenal, I think we kind of maybe had a better team than what Villa has, and we were somewhat comfortable enough to maybe finish top four. You know, it was us and Chelsea at the time,
Yes.
and I don't know, he fumbled it in the end. He fumbled it to Chelsea twice. Like it didn't make any sense.
Unai Emery's Red Army.
No, no,
Hey. Nada. Arteta.
Wait,
Won a cup.
wait, what?
And won a cup.
And what's the name of the
Not just
cup
any
again?
cup.
What's the
It
name of
was
the
the
cup?
FA Cup.
the FA
Hey,
Cup,
the FA
the
Cup.
FA Cup. You telling me that
FA
doesn't
Cup,
hold
bro.
any weight?
I didn't,
the
yo,
FA
dude,
Cup holds
I'm
weight.
not gonna sit there and argue with Arsenal fans about FA Cup, man. We're a Champion League, we're a European Champion League. That's what we argue about,
But
you know. But go ahead.
It's not like it's the Carabao Cup. This was the FA Cup. This
There
is
we go.
one of the longest standing cups in Britain, mate. Come on, blood. What are you saying, man?
but yeah, Unai Emery just like whenever he's equipped and has what he like needs to be able to get to where he needs to get to, he always seems to just fall short every
All
season.
right.
And I think it's gonna happen this season again.
Let's move on because I know Abdullah is gonna keep saying things about Une like he's not a great manager. I wish I could have him in Chelsea right now compared to what I got going on. But Liverpool thought it won it today, and then Reese snatch it, took the heart out
Wow.
with a banger. Talk to me, Queens. Liverpool 2, Fulham
Man.
2. What a go.
That was when I got up and I thought that Liverpool got it. Seeing that Arsenal, that's our next team we have to
Fixture.
play. That's our next
Yeah.
fixture. Looking a little rough for them right now compared to what we know them as being. I can't really call what it is, but you know, I believe them losing Jota and the way they did really affected the team more than they even realized. All respect to Jota, rest in peace, but them also, you know, they don't have Salah, they don't have the certain players, but I believe Liverpool has a team to win games like this, and for them to give up such a banger like that, it's like this is why we love football, you know? This is why we watch the sport of the unpredictability, you know? This guy that scored on them also hasn't scored a goal in 3 years. 3 years. So it's like, you know, the Premier League, this is what it is. It's football, man. I believe that the game that Arsenal lost to Liverpool earlier this year, we made them, it was something of excellence that had to beat us, something amazing, you know? At the same time, they're going to come next game, coming off of a game like this, you know they're going to come out and play a certain way. But if Arsenal, if we play our game, we can handle business. But they're going to be coming for blood in the next game, coming off of a draw like this. Gakpo takes his shirt off in the 93rd minute. In the 93rd
Those are
minute,
the worst.
you're thinking that you won. Sometimes when I see players do things like that, I believe it affects the psyche of the game, thinking that, okay, we believe that this is over. Like I told y'all, it's not over till the fat lady sings. It's not over to the...
It was a Richarlison moment.
Yeah. It's a Richarlison moment, you know? It's like, can't really explain it, you know? So, I mean, this may give them some character moving forward for the next game, but it's very surprising to see.
Yeah. Well, now, you know, Brentford beat Everton, just run down Tottenham against Sunderland. Sunderland is not an easy team to play, but the championship side, man.
Hey.
Bro, this guy's, man, they just come from a
You know what's funny? Every season there's always one team that gets promoted, that gives everybody a problem.
Right.
Yep.
And then come, like, say they survive, come the next season, they're garbage.
They're garbage again. It's
'Cause, you
similar
know-
to Nottingham
'cause
Forest,
you know
if I'm
why?
not
'Cause, you
mistaken.
know-
Nottingham Forest,
Yeah.
Sheffield.
Right.
Sheffield. Leeds, kind of.
Leeds.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all right. No, not really.
Because at the end of it, like when this season's over, going to the next season, other teams go shopping and they go get the players.
Yeah.
What is Spain? What is in the Premier League? The team just comes to shop and they want the money and they get rid of the players. Then when you look at Nottingham Forest, man, the run they had last year, man, I'm like, why don't you just keep the team? Spend the money. I mean, you pay these players. Like, man, you guys definitely right though, man. But to close this up, man, Arsenal on top of the table with 6 points. here. And again, you guys are performing well. Some people might call you guys an incredible 2.0 compared to the way y'all playing. I think this is one of your best teams you guys had in the past 4 or 5 years because maturity is there. So I got to give to the, I mean, after every Premier League episode, I like to get the team that's on top of the table they credit when it's due, man. Arsenal is playing well. Arsenal is the best team in England. Arsenal could be the best team in the world if they could consistently do what they're doing right now. Be clinical, finish. If Declan Rice play the way he play, because what I'm seeing is now, if Declan Rice don't show up 100% today, we'll see all the guy could do that. Soccer is always gonna be soccer. You know what I'm saying? But to see the supporting cast, you mentioned what Nani Marioki did in the first half of the light. So you guys, man, you guys got on top of the table, 6 points. It might not seem a lot, but the way the Premier League is going, the way you got teams like Sunderland could go upset anybody, the way our Chelsea upset today, Man City. Although we are Chelsea Football Club, we can't call it upset, but Arsenal, bro, don't lose this. Because if I do, I don't want to hear shit from no Arsenal fan.
Hey,
You know, I'll be the
hey,
first
take
person
it
to sit here and run
easy.
my mouth about this.
Take it easy.
You know, but
How about Wolves winning 3-0 too? We
yeah,
can't
we
forget
can't
that,
forget
man.
that. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
Like you
action
Hey,
said,
going
bro.
on.
Like you
yo,
said, it's the Premier League,
It's the
bro.
Premier League, man. Things
Unpredictable.
are happening, man. Wolves winning.
West Ham is in the dump.
Right.
West Ham is in the
They're
dump.
getting packed up, bro. They're done.
You know, absolutely, man. You
You
got
know?
players
They're
out
out
here,
of here.
man. You got, things happen this week, man. It's just that unfortunately. And one more thing before we get out of it, because it is time for us to get out of here, man. Like, I gotta speak to the Chelsea fans out there. They're mad that Chelsea tied this game. Oh, because we don't want to see Arsenal win the fucking Premier League. Dude, are you guys stupid?
I was seeing a lot of
Look,
that.
are you guys serious, bro? Like you so focused on what another man is doing, not worrying about you you competing, you
It's
showing
the
the
Prem. This
hunger
is
to
what it
play.
teaches us.
Hey, it doesn't make no sense, man. I'm a Chelsea
We
fan.
need to focus
That's
focus
lame,
on
bro.
your
That is
task.
so lame. Because then, how do you
Yeah,
build
yeah,
It's
confidence
so
through your
lame,
team,
bro.
dude? I don't give
yeah.
a damn. We gotta do what we need to do to make sure we can compete to be in a better position to be in the Champions League. If that's
Correct.
beating Man City 3 times, if that's what it takes, which we could only play them twice, by the way. But I'm just saying, if it's snatching all 6 points,
Bro,
and the Arsenal could run away with it, bro. At this point in time, it's cool because at the end of the day, if Arsenal win it, I'll be the first person to say about goddamn time. There's no other way. I mean, they are the best
yeah,
team. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, for me, that's lame. That's lame for you guys to think that we should lose because you don't want to see Arsenal win. What type of
correct.
loser are
Yeah.
you, man? I mean, you're not even a real Chelsea fan, bro. You're a loser for you to even think like that. But
Message to your Chelsea mates, man.
that don't make
Let
no
it be
sense to
known,
me,
man.
man. It makes zero sense to me, man. It makes zero sense for me to stay to worry about not worrying about Arsenal to win because we beat City. When we play City again, I hope we beat their asses 8-0. I just want to see City get beat, you know.
Yeah.
But, man, if you enjoy these Premier League reactions, man, please press the like button and subscribe,
Like,
man, so you
share,
can
and
listen to
subscribe.
these
Ballot
guys
Sports
out here,
TV.
bro. There might be Arsenal
Like it.
fans, but I know the game of football, man. Coins July. Appreciate you guys for being here again, man. Thank you.
You already
Yes,
know.
sir.
Peace.